we left off with Wahutok telling us about how she was so scared of death at one point in her life that she would not leave the house, and even the people you loved, you were scared when you heard that they were taking a journey, just going on with their normal life.
But it's not now the extended family. Now my brothers, the rest siko ubaya but
tukufe tukitaka
mkufe mkitaka mnaweza tembea. But now my brothers,
Joshua and
Wahome,
you became the mother hen to them.
Yes.
Oh God.
Our father is still alive, but there's so many people ask. My dad is still alive. He's somewhere working, doing business, but he left when my mother died. You see, kuna vita zingine sitakai kuingililia. Now it's him fighting with my grandfather because my mother amezikwa kwao home. So that means there is a problem.
Wait, your mother amezikwa kwao home like at your dad's place or like at your mom's place?
Kwa wazazi wake, now where I grew up in Mbaringo.
So your mom is buried at her ancestral home?
Yes,
okay.
At her home. And now you see, if she, for a married person, kulingana na Ukikuyu anafaa kuzikwa kwa kina bwana yake.
Yeah.
But I think I understand sijui Rurashio what a lot of things, and now they started fighting vita zenye sitakai kuingililia, and I really don't even want, I usually don't even want to go there, even don't ask them, even my Gukanos. And so I reconnected with my dad last year in April, and that's when we had a sit down. I used to insult him bana.
Yeah.
Alikuwa anapigia simu na mtukana ama nakaa hivi nasikia sijatusi huyo mzee siku kadhaa. I call him, and now those are the effects of now drugs, that because I was using a lot because I needed not to be sober. I remember at some point I used to go on TV live nikiwa high, very high, because I couldn't survive without. I needed to mask the feelings, the grief, the pain. I started getting tattoos. I have some crazy tattoos all over. I needed some different type of pain, and that's what really happened. And I tell people my dad is alive. Ngoge is my father. Ngoge is not my husband, guys. I'm still single. I'm still single. Ngoge is my
dad.
For
number 07.
No, just forget about it. No. Okay. So my dad is still alive and is somewhere. We reconnected, and that is one thing that I love talking about passionately. How do you forgive somebody who really hurt you? Somebody who left you when you needed them, because I needed my father anyway. I was 7 years old, and I could have been playing like other children, ningekuwa nacheza kati, hide and seek like other children, but now I had to put that off because I had 2 brothers who needed me to wash them, to clean them, to be there for them, to carry the last born nikienda shule, he's on my back and everything. I remember at some point shule nilikuwa naenda, hata nikichelewa mwalimu ana shughuli, because they know kwetu ni mbali, it's like 5 kilometers from school in the morning and 5 kilometers going back. And my brother, our last born, hataki kubaki, so you have to carry him, you have to go with him, and they hataki mtu mwingine. So what do? I just carry my brother, tunatembea tu pole pole. So I would really, somebody asked me, how did you forgive your dad? It's something that it's hard to do. You know how hard it is to forgive somebody who has hurt you. And that's one thing that I sat down with God and told God, now, check him zai, kaa chini hapa, this is my seat. Like literally, sit there, I need to sit here. And you tell me how to forgive my father. I told you, it's not so many people know that it got to a point, people who are close to me started doing things to me, touching me inappropriately, and you can't say they are doing that. They are doing things to you. You feel uncomfortable in a room, being in a room with your cousin, with men in your family, and you can't say, because if you say, they will say you are lying. You don't have a mother to defend you. And so I asked God, how do you want me to forgive that man? And if he was there, angekuwa nani defend, angekuwa ananificha. You know, that part of my life, I hid it for so long to a point I had forgotten about it until I went to therapy, and my therapist asked me, why do you fear men this much? You know, people think I don't fear men. I fear men, but now I mask it with, I need to confront you too. If you think I fear you, I have to confront you and be rude and everything around that. And people didn't know why I was doing that. And I did so many bad things to people intentionally. Karisa used to enjoy seeing people suffer. I was telling Masi the other day, mimi nilikuwa napenda kuona nimefanyia mtu kitu akilia. Nilikuwa nataka kuona ukisikia uchungu.
Wow.
And then I was like, oh no, that is so bad. So I had to tell God, sit down. I sit here. And I was introduced to that thing by a friend of mine. And she told me, you need to sit down with God. Like literally. You need to understand there is love. And the love that you're looking for love enye haujui ni nini unatafuta. And that's why people take advantage of you. And so my therapist asked me, Ebu, tell me your experience with men in your life. I'm like, there's nothing really. And then he asked me a question that triggered me, and I remember I cried. He asked me, were you molested when you were a child? Now in Kikuyu. I was like, no, they didn't like rape me, but they used to wait for me to be alone in a room. They touch me everywhere. You see them doing things to themselves, and you're like, oh my God, I wish I could get out of this place. And now that thing made me have a very different perspective of men. I know even right now, if I tell my grandfather who used to do that, all those people, my guka is those people who get angry. Alafu alikuwa jeshi, ameretire jeshi. Those people who get angry and overreacts immediately, atafanya kitu and then ata regret. But then Karisa couldn't say, because who will I tell? You go say something, you asked, unaona mamako hapa? Is your father here? Haya, nyamaza. I remember one day, an experience that really hurt me. I don't know why me and my brothers were talking about these things tukitoka ushago. I think it's because our guka started a conversation that we never had. You see those uncomfortable conversations. I remember we even ilibidi tumepark gari mahali and now speak. And I was telling my brothers, Ebu, tell me, what were you feeling? Because our last born brother, ye trauma yake imeenda group of schools.
What?
Sai, I'm even thinking of trying to talk to him to go to therapy. Our second born, at least him is okay. He's those people who are chap and he speaks. Our last born doesn't speak. He's those children who are silenced. I remember we used to do things, and then there's one uncle of ours. My brothers were reminding me, mtoto wake akinyongwa na nyama, tulikuwa tunachapwa sisi wote. Na ni mtoto wake alikuwa anakula nyama, imemnyonga, tunachapwa sisi wote. Ama juni watao anaenda anaguza dhafai, anaanza kulia, tunachapwa sisi wote. Then I was asking my brothers, my last born brother and alileta hiyo conversation kama za, but how do you feel about that? How do you feel about that particular uncle? And he's like, well, I don't know if I'll ever forgive him, because it was something that like we were, I don't want to say we were silenced, but it's called emotional what? Emotional blackmail. Like you can't express yourself, you can't say anything, because why are you saying? Who are you telling? People, watu wanakuja Christmas, kila mtu ako na mamake hapo na babake. Our last born brother, to a point, he used to go to sit on my mother's grave, anakalia msalaba. Wow. Like, and he sits there for hours and he can't move. And I'm like, oh God, what is running in his mind? Until today, if we go home, apart from now Joshua, second born, me and my last born brother, we go and sit there. Joshua ni wale vijana, I mean, cool kid, hizo vitu hapana. But you see him, I don't want to say he's the middle child, but him is those people who are like, hizo ni vitu za kitambo. But it's si kupenda. I just find myself, I try how much hard nitajipata tu hapo kwa hiyo kaburi. Until now, I just find myself sitting there doing nothing, and that, but then nafanya nini hapa? just wake up and walk away. Kidogo I'm thinking I'm alone. I go find my brother sleeping there akiwa ameangalia juu. I'm like
that's Wahome now.
Yeah, that's Wahome. So it is, I was telling you about forgiveness. So I had to forgive my dad. I don't know why I'm going all over, but I had to forgive my dad for not being there, for not being a present dad. Until now we are not that close. Yes, we talk from time to time, but we are not that close with my father. And somebody told me, my therapist told me, the fact that I didn't have a fatherly love. I had father figures in my life. My Guka is a very good father figure, but then there are culprits. Kuna washenzi wadogo huko wenye walinifanyia zile mambo walinifanyia, and now I only feel safe when I'm with my grandfather. The rest, and now you see I didn't have that. My Guka was my Guka. He was not my father. He was in my life as my Guka, and he made sure he's my grandfather. My Guka is not my father. My uncles were my literally uncles. Like, you know, somebody can go and tell iko hivi na hivi na hivi, and you see the emotional blackmail and everything now pushed us away. Line ni uncle, line ni Guka, nothing beyond there. You just know if you need fees, Guka atalipa, na kama hana ataenda kukutetea. Ataenda kukutetea usifukuzwe. So yeah, that's basically everything around that line. But I overcame that feeling of fearing death. I think God just helped me, because I just went, I told God, now it's time. I need to be easy. I need to relax, because I could feel fear in my fingertips. It was that bad. And then I used to get very bad what do we call them, anxiety attacks. Even at night I could feel pain hata hapa kwa palm, like because of anxiety. And now I had to overcome that. Like literally I had to pray that thing away.
Yeah.
And it finished. So I was asking you where that question was, what that part has come from is, have you ever, because you've lost a lot of people, have you ever felt the fear of death, or I don't want to say the regret, the fear part?
I still feel the fear of death.
Oh, really?
My first tattoo here is memento mori, remember death. Like remember I'm gonna die. It's the first tattoo that I got, and I don't know why, it was just one of those things that just never left my mind. Just like any day, any time.
Yeah, every minute.
Any minute could be dead. It makes my life a little bit more fun, because I live like, if today was the last day of my life, what would I want to do with it? And so I tend to do the things that I love, that I enjoy, that I find fun, that I feel nurture me and grow me. But then that fear in the beginning, actually, where I saw it really strongly is, again, when I got kids too. It was just like, what if something happened to me? What would happen to this child? Like, and even though I'm married and like I have a partner who could take care of them, there's still that sense that you know, they're gonna not have their dad.
Their dad is not there.
The dad is not there. And for a period there, I was raising my sister's daughter, who calls me daddy, and there was a time when I was a single dad, like, to her. And then at that time I was just like really, really confused. Because if something happens to me,
you're the only person she has.
She has other people, but then it's sort of like we have a closer relationship and a closer bond. I'm the one she calls daddy. So there was always that fear. I think it's always there. The thing that it forces me to do now is to be a little bit more intentional with my life, figure out what do I want to do before that time comes. And then to try to enjoy the rest of it. But that fear is so real. And oh God, like there are days, like literally yesterday, we put our kids to bed. Then I sat down to watch a movie. I just watched like 2 episodes. And then I was telling my wife, I miss my kids. Like, I just put them to bed. But and I just want to see them. Like, it's, when I look at them, they are They are the main reason I wouldn't want to die now. Yeah, it's like I wouldn't want to die now. These little things need me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those things that I can't pretend or say I don't think about it or that I'm not scared of it sometimes. What I've found is that it's become less dominant and a less dominating thought in my mind. And then even that emotion of fear, I'm able to just like place it in the normal scheme of things. It's just one other thing that I feel.
And it's not daily, it's just random days. On random days you're like, please go away.
And the other thing that I did is I told myself that I've suffered a lot of anxiety. Like, I think I've not been diagnosed with it.
Anxieties are bad.
Yeah, but I told myself that I don't want to let my fear or my anxiety get in the way of what I want to do with my life, or get in the way of me being true to my values or sticking to my intention. So what that means is that, yes, I'm scared of death, but there are times when I legit just like floor the car to 180 on a highway because I'm just like, it's a clear day, the road is open.
Let me have fun.
Yeah, and like I can see just for like 2-3 minutes and just feel that thrill of, okay, I'm not going to live my life scared of death and not live, because there is that possibility where you don't leave the house, you don't do the things, I don't do the things I want to do just because I'm scared of death, or even scared of anything really. So there's a point where I got when I was
do men get scared?
I get scared. I'm scared right now.
Why?
You're very bold. It's like, see,
no, don't do that, Karis. Don't do that.
See, if I didn't know you, you're bold. There's a part to your voice, and there's like this boldness.
Okay.
And it can be very intimidating to a lot of people. I don't know. Have people told you, and especially men, that they find you intimidating?
Yes. And not even once. I think that's why I'm still single.
What do you say to that?
I don't know what to say. You see, there's another day in the office we were having a conversation with Mercy and Brenda, and they were asking me, why are you still single? Because of a comment. I think if it's not Brenda, it's Mercy who read it somewhere. How men say I'm intimidating, hawezi fika class yangu, my voice and all that. But do you know I've been bullied 1,000,001 times because of my voice?
Really?
And that just a mere fact that I'm bold. And then men are like, wewe sasa na utolewa na nani, and everything, not knowing I'm just a small girl inside. I'm just a baby girl. It's just that life had to make me this bold. Sometimes I feel like I can tone it down, but I don't know how to tone it down. I don't know. I'm not intimidated by anyone or anything. I don't know. I usually don't know how to explain it. But you see, so many men say that my boldness is something they can't stand. And then I'm like, man, I can't tone it down. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how not to be bold. It's the first thing I learned when my mother left. Is the first thing I knew. Because again, I've told you, I saw my mother for 7 days. She died, and I think there was no money to take her to the mortuary because my grandparents were poor or something. So they just made you see, how do I put it? Walichukua makaa zile maunga za makaa. You see, when makaa imeisha mututushio, and then they pour water on it. They wakaekelea karatasi ya black and they laid her there for 7 days. I need to see my mom. She's died. Remember, she's breathed her last when I was there. Before my mother died, she called me. She sent for me. I don't know why this conversation is leading into grief and sadness and everything, but we just moved. She sent somebody to call me. She wanted me to pray for her. I started praying from, I don't know, when I started talking. That's when I remember I started praying, because my mother was a deacon or something, and I needed to know how to pray. She taught me how to pray. She taught me a lot of things. I used to sing in church. So my voice, this is my voice since I was born. And at some point it was too deep. I used to fear my voice. And now she tells somebody to call me, and she tells me to pray for her, and I pray for her. And as we're there talking and doing everything, she kept on saying, rudi kwanza nimalizane na mtoto wangu. And I'm like, you unajiongelesha. But then she was so sick. She was so sick and very thin. So she's lying on the couch, amenilalia hapa, and then she tells me, I want you to pray for me, because she couldn't sit. So her head is here, and I put my hands on her. And then she kept on saying, Rudi, can you rudi kwanza nimalizane na mtoto wangu. She prayed for my brothers, she prayed for me, and then now she breathed. Kwanza kulikuwa na mohiriga. Like mohiriga ilikuwa Christmas Day. Everybody from my Guka's grandfather, okay, that guy is not alive. His dad was there, my Guka's father was there, his brothers, his cousins, a lot of people at my place, my Guka's place. So kulikuwa kumechinjwa ndume, ilikuwa imehangiwa somewhere. So where I could sit, the picture that still remains in my head is that ndume, because I had that ndume sound venye iliuliwa, and that's the same sound that my mother made when she breathed her last. And now since then I've seen her die, I've experienced death, and then I'm like, later on I asked my aunt, why was my mother saying rudi kwanza? And then she was telling me, your mother used to pray, my mother used to pray. She was seeing the angel of death, and she needed to finish with her children before the angel of death could take her away. And then I don't understand, then why would she sound like that? And then my aunt tells me it's because she took her last breath. Everybody who takes their last breath sound like that. And that sound until today, Karis, is the only thing I remember about my mother. I can't remember her voice. Okay, I have her photo very big in my house, but I can't remember her voice. I can't remember how she was walking, how she was doing things. But the only sound I could remember is that. Now, it was worse for my brothers because they can't remember anything apart from that photo. They were too young for that. My last born brother can't even remember anything. Apart from that photo, he has nothing to hold on to. But now, that's where my boldness came from. From seeing my mother, from hearing my mother take her last breath, seeing her daily for 7 days until she was buried, staying there until they funika her and they kindira mchanga. I'm still there, and I have to be there because I couldn't let my mother go. It was the last thing I ever wanted to do in life. So that's where my boldness comes from, and I don't know how to tone it. I just wish, guys, I can take that boldness and squeeze it kidogo ishaishe, but I can't.
Would you want to?
No.
I think it's one of the, as I told you, it's one of the things that I most admire in you. So even if you could, I don't think I would personally wouldn't want you.
I wouldn't want.
Yeah, it's.
You see, and it's one thing that helps me click with people.
Yeah.
I told you the other day, I don't just feel things. I think it's because of praying. I see things. I hear things. So how Brenda akikwambia part ni schizophrenia or whatever she said. Now it's because sometimes it's too loud. You see the way you sit down and meditate? I can't do that. Like I fear the things I hear. I fear the things I see. And every time I see something, it comes to pass. And I usually don't want that. So that's why most of the times I remember in high school, wase walikuwa wanasema, by the way, ule dema anakuwa na kierere. Just because I was bold. I went to high school and I was not. The way form ones wanaingianga wako intimidated na that's not me. I go for whatever I want until today. You see the day I found you behind there, I told Brenda, by then naenda kuangalia huyo jamaa. Mbona nkae hapa akiwa amefunga? Because I found you're closing your eyes and you're meditating, and then I'm asking Brenda, what is wrong with this? Who's that guy? And Brenda tells me, I don't know. I told Brenda, I have to know who that guy is. What if huyo mtu amekuja hapa kutusikiliza and then atulipue? So that is one of the things that I wouldn't want to tone down my boldness. I wouldn't want to let people misunderstand me, let people think whatever they think. One thing I don't care about is what people think about me. As long as I'm right with God, my heart is. And how do I know I'm right with God? Because everything I do, I have peace in my heart. If I do something and I don't have peace, I know, by the way, God, hayuko kwa hiyo stuff. And that's one thing about, I really love about God and my relationship with him. He has to notify me heads on. If I have to go somewhere or need to do something, I have to confirm with God. I have to pray. There's something we were talking about, Jana, and I told you I have to pray about it. I have to pray about it to get peace. If I don't get peace, I am out. Sometimes I do things, I walk out on things, and then people are like, when I always hear your deal, I'm like, bro, if I continue with that deal, I don't have peace in my heart, and I don't want to mess up my relationship. People see me, I don't want to say fighting, but speak boldly, even on social media. The other day I had posted a story from my village, and everybody's like, mbona unabishana na hawa watu? Because I'm telling the truth. If it's not the truth, I wouldn't say it. If it's not something that is there and I have evidence, I wouldn't say it. Because it wouldn't sit well with me and my heart. Yeah. So I wouldn't want even a single minute to tone that boldness down. So whoever wants me, they have to get comfortable with the fact that I am bold. I speak my mind. I talk. I don't know if I'm boring. People have to tell me if I'm boring, but I know I'm not boring. I'm very entertaining. And I'll give you stories.
And deep down, there's still the little girl who chews her nails.
Thank you. I have to chew my nails. I have to, because I'm still a girl. I'm still a girl deep down. Yeah.
Okay. You're a girl on the surface. Right?
No, Brenda told me the other day that I'm dongo.
Who's dongo? Who's dongo?
That my boldness, I look like Kandongo, but in Wahu's body. So I'm like, really? Why would you say your boldness? Unajua Wahu joyo nini unakuanga nayo. You are Ndongo in Wahu's body. I'm like, what?
Ouch.
Ouch. And then there's a time I used to dress like a boy.
Yeah.
That's another story. That's another story by itself. And now that made it even worse. Now men used to see me and they're like, wow. I'm just comfortable where I'm. You threw me there, I'm comfortable. You threw me there, I'm comfortable. Because I think I know how to adjust.
Okay.
Yeah. Mimi nikianza kuongea Karis siachangi.
This was supposed to be a conversation and I'm really getting to know you. Yeah.
So, but now, tell us about Amvukisha. Why Amvukisha? Where did this name come from? What was running into your mind? What is with Amvukisha? What is the future? How do you see the future for Amvukisha?
The future is really blurry right now.
Blurry?
It's blurry. Like I can't see it clearly.
Okay.
But I'm sort of an intuitive person.
Yeah.
So I have a sense of what this is going to be.
Yeah.
But I can't put it in words completely. It's part of the process I've been going through. So right now there are a few things I'm very, very clear on. One, we're building a community. So I don't even think of people who subscribe to Amvukisha as subscribers.
Yeah.
I think of them as members of the community.
Yeah, sure.
And I think of myself as just the same, just like another member in the community. And together with them, with my guests, we are co-creating this community.
Sure.
So that's the second thing I'm very clear on, co-creation. I really enjoy co-creating, which essentially is I bring my best ideas and I believe that my best ideas have space and that I'm allowed to express them and I'm free to try them. And then that the same is true for you and the same is true for anybody in the community.
Sure.
Then there is connection. It's like, see the kind of conversation we're having allows me to get to know like Wahu really deep. Some of the places we've gone are just like places you take years to get to with a friend.
True.
But on this podcast and on an episode like this, we can get to just like, let's go wherever and just really connect and get to know each other. So those three, the community, the co-creation and the connection, those I'm very, very clear on so far. It's part of what I've already teased out of what this is going to be. Then where Amvukisha came from, it came from the idea of Amvukisha is Swahili, helping somebody cross over. which is essentially for me the idea that I need other human beings sometimes to help me cross over to, like, I might be struggling over here.
Yeah.
And it's why the community is also important.
Yeah.
Because when one is struggling with something, there are times when legit I need help. And I need help for someone on the other side to tell me, hey, this is the path I took from where you are to where I am. And then there are also like experiences that are just foreign to me. And especially coming from pretty much some of the challenges you've shared, I've been through, you know, like grief, being raised by relatives, pain, molestation. I didn't tell you that, but I've been through that stuff. Scary. Like I've been molested. I don't talk about it much, but then the experiences that are very, very new to me, in the sense that maybe I'm used to just pain and I'm used to sorrow and just sadness, but then I don't want a life full of that. And then I see somebody else full of joy, lightness, playfulness. And I would like some of that.
I want that.
I want that. But if I've never experienced it, even my body doesn't know how to chill and relax, doesn't know maybe how to just open up and laugh. But when I hang out with other people in the community who, for them that comes naturally, then I'm able to absorb it. And it's one of the reasons why I told you I bring guests on Vukisha, people that I admire. I usually just admire one or two things about them, but I know that if I spend time with them,
you will understand them more.
I understand them. But my hope is that I'll absorb that, like see Wahu's boldness. I'm really hoping it rubs off on me, and I'm able to just like, oh, I can be so confident in my own voice and the power in that voice, like Wahu is, and just hope some of that drops off because it doesn't come naturally to me. So that's Vukisha, and thank you so much to all my fans for subscribing. Thank you for showing up on the channel, because without guests this dies. Without subscribers it dies.
And you know, you encouraged me at some point because I was to start a podcast, and then I was like, how will I do it? I'm seeing people doing podcasts left, right and center, but how will I do it? Who will I do it with? I have a channel, mine is just as my name, and I had started, people kept on asking me, how did you get saved? How did you finally move from the Wahu that we knew now to this Wahu who is completely down to earth, cool, you haven't changed much apart from now, you're more sensible. And I keep on telling people, I've had low self-esteem because of my voice for the longest, until I think I was 29. I used to speak, and then you speak and everybody's like, remember there's a time I don't know who I was telling that. I think it's Mercy and Brenda, because we're always with Mercy and Brenda. And now people will start asking, who is Mercy and Brenda? Mercy is this, Brenda is that.
Bring them on the channel. You'll get to know them.
Yeah, you'll get
cool
to know
tips too.
In fact, very soon I'll sit with them down and ask them questions about me, what they admire and everything about that. And you'll get to see Mercy, Willie, Wanderi. You'll get to see all of them. But I was telling Kina Mercy, there's a time I really trended, because Uhuru, the former president Uhuru Kenyatta, was wearing a fabric that I had worn like 3 months before he did. I think 3 weeks. Ilikuwa 3 weeks Willie. Na Willie ndio alinipiga hiyo picha. So Willie I knew Willie kitambo sana. Willie used to call me when, I don't know, he was trying photography, alikuwa ameanza. So he used to do photos of me kwa streets. So Willie posts my photo, and then I share from his page to my page. Ilikuwa time ya COVID. There's a print I had worn. Ilikuwa dress. Ilikuwa shirt dress. And then Uhuru 3 weeks later wears the same shirt. And now it starts trending. Somebody surfaced my photo, and then now, in fact, ilisheiwa kwa you see the way people screenshot. Uhuru akiwa kwa TV mse aka screenshot, and then akachukua picha yangu nilikuwa nimepigwa na Willie akapost. Akasema, hey Wahu, you need to tell us the secret. How can you be matching with the president? And then the photo starts trending. Wacha nikwambie Karis, people hate you. And you will never know people hate you until you start trending. In fact, I was telling again Akina Masi in the morning, you'll know people hate you when you start trending. Either you're trending for good things or bad things, because people will insult you. people insulted me, Karis. Msichana hata anaongeanga kama punda. And they started making fun of my voice. And I was like, okay, I had low self-esteem because of my voice, and now it became worse. I could voice stories on TV and find you listening to my story and tell you, Suzy mekabla usikize nikitoka hapa. I couldn't stand my voice. I tell people that and they're like, no, you're lying. I couldn't stand. I used to skiza, you see, niliekwa idea ni sauti ya punda. I used to hate my voice that much. And people don't know the mess they do to people when they troll you on social media. Because you end up sitting down. Kwanza, if you're an overthinker like me, you're like, and you see all those pages, new pseudo accounts. You're like, this is somebody that knows me well. This must be somebody I'm very close to. If not close to, is my colleague. If not my colleague, is somebody that I interact with a lot of people, by the way. And I love talking to people. So I see that comment and then I'm like, mwingine anasema, huyu ni show off, amevaa saiju, Uhuru amevaa. I'm like, wait a minute. Picha yenye imepostiwa imeshaiwa has even a date. In fact, ilitolewa kwa page ya huyu Willy. It has a date na iko na jina ya Willy pale. So that means si mimi nilipost hiyo picha, ni Willy alipost, me I just shared. And then you're like, so you people hate me this much. And now that's when I switched off. I'm like, oh, because all these are pseudo accounts. You know, you will know a pseudo account. All these are pseudo accounts, and these are most likely people who are close to me, people I work with, people I interact with on a daily basis, people who keep on telling me they love me and everything else. Now that's when I switched and I stopped. I've asked you how you don't get. I stopped getting attached to people and to things that I feel. Right now, until I know in my spirit that somebody is genuine, I don't get attached. Because I don't know what you'll do next. You know, people change. And that is when now I started embracing my voice. I started doing voiceovers. Because I couldn't understand. People kept on telling me, by the way, sauti yako ni kali. Should I try voiceover? I'm like, voiceover kijana hata sitaki kujisikia. Nafanyaje voiceover na sitaki kusikia sauti yangu? And people didn't understand that. But until I started loving myself.
Yeah.
I had sat down with pain. I was comfortable in pain. Like if I was not feeling pain, nilikuwa na feel, that's a very weird feeling. Like I need that feeling of pain, that feeling of grief. Until now I went to therapy. And now you start understanding pain is not who you are. I was telling you when you tulikuwa tumeenda break kidogo. Sometimes people say that's who I am. Mtu anaongea and then ako like unamuuliza why have you said that? But that is not who you are. That is not who I am. It's a lie that, or it's a, how do I call it? It's the lie yenye shetani amekwambia it's who you are, but that is not who you are. Until you sit down with God and really know who you are, you will know pain is not you, grief is not you. You've asked me why I loved seeing people crying. Because I was feeling pain. I needed to see that pain in somebody else going through that same pain. And that is how people are. Like, why are you rude? That is who I am. No, that is not who you are. Sometimes people don't even know who they are until you go sit down with somebody, a professional, and then they start asking you a question. You start opening up. The more you open up to a stranger, the more now you tend to understand who you are. You tend to know. I've told you, the Bible says, when we give our life to Christ, we become new beings. Christ now lives in us. And when Christ is living in, why am I preaching? Mutume sadaka kwa 0702 kashujigai komi. When Christ is in you, sometimes you want to know God, but the more you dig deep to know God, it's like now you start knowing yourself, because God will start exposing the parts of you that are not you, that are ni uongo tu shetani amefabricate akakuwekea hapo ati wewe bedhe lazima uonge rude, lazima utusi watu. Until now God start exposing that to you, to yourself. Now you start knowing who you are. Until you sit down with God, now you start understanding why pain is not part of you, why grief is not part of you, why being rude is not part of you. And sometimes people don't want to face that truth. because Karisi, you used to pain, you like, you feeling, msena kwambia, hey, by the Karisi, you need to relax. How do you guys relax? I started seeing people happy, and then I'm like, I want that. Why are you that happy? And you know when somebody is genuinely happy.
Yeah.
I'm like, mbona Karisi uko genuinely happy? Mbona Karisi hauna stress? Because I used to be stressed the whole time. I used to have very bad anxiety. And then somebody tells me they don't have anxiety, I'm like, I want that. Like, and now that is what pushed me to go to therapy. You see, in as much as you sit down with God, you pray, there's a part of you that has to work. God will not do 100% for you. Sometimes ni kama unajua Kikuyu anasema Ngai ataithagia witaithĩtie. You cannot sit here, not work, and expect God to give you money.
I have a friend who told me over the weekend that when they get kids, they're gonna pray then for God to change their pampers. I'm like, hey! I want to see that prayer work.
I also want to see that, because how do you just say the child is wet and you're just waiting for God to do that? You have to move.
Yeah.
It's like if you have to go to Naivas right now, you cannot go to Naivas spiritually. Ati uende shop ukiwa hapa and then shopping ikupate hapa. Hata kama unafanya shopping online, you have to pick up your phone, uwashe data, you go shopping online.
That's work.
That is work. Yeah. You have to put in the work. So I knew I've given my life to Christ. I knew I was in Christ. But then again, I needed to put in some work. It's okay, I've prayed. It's okay, I'm starting to know myself. But then again, what about the parts of me that I can't face? Do you know there are parts of you that until you face them, you can't stand them? Like, there were parts of me that I couldn't even stand. I felt they were scary, they were filthy, they were, I don't know. I couldn't even stand them.
Can I confess something?
Yeah.
I don't listen to any of the episodes I shoot because I still haven't gotten to that point where I can listen to my own voice.
Wait, what?
Really? So
no, you're joking.
No, really, I don't watch these episodes. I shoot them. I enjoy this part of the process.
But after you don't sit and listen.
I don't like the sound of my own voice. So
why?
I'm still
right now, in fact, my voice is the best thing I would listen to my voice 1,000,001 times right now.
Yeah, but you're talking about facing the parts of us that we can't stand.
Yeah.
And earlier you'd mentioned, like, when you see me meditate and I'm just there, like, I'm okay with my thoughts, and you tell me there are things inside sometimes you just don't want to hear, like, you don't want to be quiet and listen to those voices in your head. How has therapy helped? And I'm asking this question for a home, because I'm a dude, I've been to therapy, I still see a therapist. My therapist Sarah, we have an episode
with Sarah
on this channel. So for any guy who's wondering whether therapy works, go watch that episode, then look at me, smile. Hopefully my smile is genuine. So therapy works for a home.
It does.
Yeah, but like, how has it helped you start to get more comfortable with yourself and dealing with those things that you had to deal with? And how do you convince a young guy like Wahome, or even a young girl, to, like, maybe try it and put in the work? Because even therapy is work.
Yeah, therapy is you sitting down with somebody you don't know, and now you have to open up to them. It's like, man. So one thing that really has helped me, how therapy has helped me, is getting comfortable with myself, knowing that I'm enough. I am enough as Wahoo. My voice is enough. I'm unique like that. There's somebody somewhere who loves me for being Wahoo. There's somebody somewhere who loves me for being bold. If I'm not bold, that person will be like, really? I have a friend, anaitwa Waruguru wa Kiai. And Waruguru wa Kiai is those people. She doesn't care how long she will take, but even if right now she knows I'm doing a show, this one she'll have to schedule to watch. She has to see. If she see me shaking, she's like, are you okay? I mean, really? There's another interview I did with somebody, but that interview didn't sit well with me, because it's like sitting down with a kid and you have to force that kid to talk. And so And then Marugoro calls me. She didn't even watch that one. She asks me, what is this nonsense that you posted? I'm like, nimedu. Cheki dem nimedu. Yeah. She's like, that is not who you are. That is not how you do your interviews. That is why you pretending to be somebody you're not. I'm like, calm down. Wacha kukasirika. Now I start explaining why I've done that interview like that. Because you see, if you caress those people who fear the camera, I'll have to make sure I accommodate you. I've told you, people think I'm never serious, but I have to be like this ndio wewe feel comfortable. Do you know, kuna wase ukikuwa serious sana huyo mtu ana, kuna watu wanaogopa, so you have to compose yourself.
Yeah.
Be real. When you're real, then that person is like, hata who are real, so let me be real. So there are people also having, apart from, let me first answer that question. You see, therapy, what therapy does to you is you now going to an uncomfortable space. You're sitting down with somebody and telling somebody the things you've never told someone. You're like now starting to open up. You're like now starting to talk, to sharing your mind with somebody. Kitambo, I couldn't listen to my mind because I didn't know how to sit down with my mind and listen. You see the way you're meditating. Right now, I haven't gotten where you are, but I'm somewhere close. Right now, I can switch off my TV and my phone in the house and just sit in silence for like an hour or something. Sit in silence. Everybody is sleeping. I'm done with my prayers, midnight prayers, and now let's sit. But then again, I'm usually sitting because I'm hearing what God is saying. I sit with my thoughts and I'm just quiet. That one I can do. But kitambo, I couldn't do that. You see the way you when you're not busy, you're meditating. I think I'm only, and I need to stop being busy all the time. I make sure, and it's something that I started because I needed to get out of my mind. You see those intrusive thoughts, those crazy voices that come to your head, they creep in kidogo kidogo. I used to be busy doing nothing because I didn't want to
hear those voices.
Because they were making me angry, sad, everything in between. And now I couldn't sit until now. Somebody told me, a friend of mine, well, who have you tried seeing a therapist? You're doing good. I'm not saying you're not doing good, but there are parts of you that need to see a therapy because you need to know how to receive love. Until now, I haven't gotten there yet. I don't know what this is me being vulnerable, but don't use that against me, guys. I don't know how to receive love. I don't know what real love is. I don't even know if somebody approaches me right now. I don't know if they love me genuinely. I can't tell if they love me. I think I told you, people used to even be my friends because they know I need mheshimiwa fulani, si wahu anaweza mfikia, acha niongelesha wahu. And I didn't know how to say no. I'm those people who, until now, if I say no to someone, I'm like, I'm guilty. And then now I relax. I tell myself, si lazima ukue hapo for everyone. Every time, you also need time for yourself. Saying no has been a struggle for me. Naweza jinyima ndio mtu mwingine apate. And that my second born brother told me one day, unajua utakuja kukufa wewe na ni mimi. Ni mimi tu na mama tutakuzika. I'm like, come to think of it, I don't know how to say no to everybody else. I don't even know what real love is. Right now I can't tell you who is genuinely my friend and who is not genuinely my friend. I just live with people. Okay, I'm getting there because I'm still going to therapy and understanding 1, 2, 3 things. But until I get there, there's a lot of things I have to learn. I was telling my brother, my last born brother, you need to put yourself first. Him, even when he is sick, he doesn't know, he will do things. I think it's emotional blackmail. Even if akiwa mdogo akisema yeye ni mgonjwa, yes, people will care, but then again, lazima uende ukatafutie ng'ombe majani. You have to. He didn't know how to say no until now. He doesn't know how to say no. He's sick in the house, but he can't ask for help. I learned to ask for help like late last year. Like I can come genuinely and tell you, Karis bana, manze nahitaji hii na hii na hii. Mali utanisaidia, nita appreciate. But kitambo I couldn't, because I used to fear, I had the fear of rejection, people turning me down and people letting me down. Those are 3 things that until today, mi naeza kaa na wewe nione utani disappoint. Ni kucut off pole pole. Nianze tu kuongelesha pole pole. You've done nothing. But like I told you, I see, or let me not say I see, I feel things coming. Sometimes I see them in dreams coming, and I'm like, I don't want to feel that pain, because I don't want to feel pain again. So it's a process, and therapy allows you to know yourself more, allows you to know who to let in, who to block, what to draw your boundaries, and maybe to cross over and everything. And I would, if somebody asks me right now if it's okay to go for therapy, 100%. I would go to therapy until I'm old, because therapy helps you with your mind. Sometimes maybe you don't even know how to limit your mind, and that's why we have a walk, a 50-kilometer marathon run on 18th. It's on Sunday. We are doing that marathon because of men's mental health. Like you see, sometimes a lot of men are committing suicide in Nyeri because they don't know where to put a limit. They know to go out for others, but they don't know how to be there for themselves. The other day, there's a guy, ni last week really, alijinyonga pale Kinyunye, and he left a letter saying, niliona mimi ni burden. You're like, and I was like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
Like, you just need to know you're also human. Sometimes you need to step back. You see, even me, I don't call myself a single mother. I'm a mother to my son, and I'm doing it alone. I'm not complaining, because that boy has everything. He's living the life that I didn't live. But you see, I'm human. Sometimes I just need to stay alone. I need to rest. Like on Sunday, is it Sunday? Yes, on Saturday. I was so tired. That last week and this week, to a point on Saturday, my body ili shut down. Yenyewe tu. I tried even to pick a cup nikashindwa. That is how tired I was. And then on Sunday, I'm like, but this boy needs me. But I need to be there for my son. My brothers are in Nairobi right now. They are working. Everybody is busy. There's no one I can tell to take my son. And then randomly, my friend, my very good friend, tells me on Saturday, ananiambia, "Bethe kesho nataka kuenda lunch, kupeleka mtoto wangu lunch outspan, wacha niende na Riri. Riri is my son." I'm like, are you serious? I'll just give you money. Take him for. And when he went, I was left alone. Like, now I had to calm my nerves, my body now started calming down, because you see, nilikuwa na burnout because my husband hakuwa amerudi, and that boy needed me. He needs me to play with him. He doesn't know his mother is tired. He doesn't care.
Nor should he.
In fact, he doesn't even. I just want my mother.
Yeah.
You tell him, oh, no, I want my mother. And before my son accepts to go out with somebody, he has to be comfortable. He has to see I'm comfortable with him. Yeah. Now that he gets comfortable with them. And he selectively talk to people. I don't push him, but the moment he said he'll go for swimming, and there, oh, thank you, Jesus. Because I needed that. Sometimes you need time for yourself. And that's what I keep on telling men who are my friend. Sometimes you need time for yourself. You're not a robot, by the Karis. You're not.
No, I'm not.
You have feelings. You feel sad. You feel tired. You feel angry. Sometimes you're happy. You're human. You're not a robot. And when you burn out, you don't know how to go back. Ukifika pale juu, then you're like, I'm now a burden to everybody. Kwanza wanaume wakiona hawana do.
Yeah.
Now that's me when I don't have money. I'm like, I'm a mini burden. And then Because all of us sometimes hatuna pesa. Kuna time inafikanga una do.
Yeah.
And you're broke and then you're like, eee. But it doesn't have to get to that point. So sometimes I keep on telling people, you need to see a therapy. Going to therapy is okay. It doesn't mean that you're weak. It doesn't mean that you're not a man enough. It doesn't mean that you can't handle things. You need somewhere to pour out. People keep on pouring on you. Your family needs you. Your wife, your children. They pour in you. But now you need somewhere to pour out. Because if you keep everything, unajua hata maji ni kama dam. Dam inakuanga na outlet na inlet.
Yeah.
Kama haina outlet, it bursts. And that's why you see a lot of things happening. Yeah.
Mahome and a therapist.
I'll send him this clip.
It's I have more and more people in my circle and in my community who come to me and tell me that they have started therapy now. And especially one of the people that I love the most went to therapy, and then they came back to me and they told me, dude, I should have started this many years ago. And this is a guy. And you know, he tells me how he's now spoiling himself the way he would spoil a girlfriend. So he's like, I took myself out to a date, went to a mall, went to a nice restaurant, and I can feel the joy.
Yeah.
And to me,
being alone.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, as someone that loves them, hearing that they are taking care of themselves in that way, it lessens even the burden on me to take care of them, because I know they're good. And they're telling me they're good, and I've learned to trust them. And on top of it, they're seeing a therapist and they're getting help everywhere they can. So I know if they can get help from a therapist, if they do need me also, they're going to come to me and say, I need some of your help now. And that for me is one of those things that I just find that people around me, when they take self-care seriously, oh God, it makes it so much easier for me to love them and to relate with them and to even want them to be a part of my life. Because there's asking for help, but then there is also like, kuna mashida sizi saidia mtu nazo. Like if someone comes to me with their grief, with their heartbreak, with their anger issues, the anxiety, how am I going to help them? I'm an engineer. Like, go to a therapist, get help. But there are things one can come to me with that I'm able to help. And I think that is one of those things that I feel it allows me to take somebody seriously when they are getting help in many different ways. So when they ask for my help, I know that they are not here. I won't get burnt out trying to help them, because that's also possible. Like I'm trying to help somebody I love and I burn out helping them, and they don't want to get help from anywhere else. I'm just here like, wahu ni wewe tu support system yangu, and it's like, hata mimi nahitaji support system. Like I need a support system. I can't be somebody's entire support system. So thank you for taking therapy. Thank you for being part of our community. I hope we don't drain you.
Mimi ni member number.
Oh God, we have 220 subscribers, I think. So you're 221. You're late, but Karibu. A large community, and it's growing.
That is nice.
Yeah, when I think of it as a community, 220 sounds so big. If I think of it as subscribers,
220 are so many, but they can't even fit this room.
They can't fit this room. I wouldn't have.
You need a hall.
Yeah, I would
like you need
an auditorium maybe.
Yeah, an auditorium. Because 200, when 200 people are I think I have 450.
Wow.
When 200, and I started the other day.
Yeah.
When 200 people are behind you, they want to hear your stories, they want to listen to your interviews. I think it is so nice. You see, one thing I don't like doing, I love hosting a podcast, but I don't love having an interview. You see, the way we had a conversation. Yeah. We've gone to very many places. Yeah. We have handled grief, sadness. You see, that's the kind of thing I love. I love put in the effort. The more you yearn to feel better, the more you want to feel happy. Yeah. The more you go for everything that you want. Because right now, going to therapy, telling somebody, a stranger, what I'm feeling, how people molested me, how I know even my relative will watch this and they're like, who did that to you? And if I tell you, you will kill them, and they're in that family.
And you already forgave them?
I did, genuinely. I told you, ni kama niliita God mkutano, and this is something people think doesn't work. I just sat down and told God, sit here, and now I started talking. And when I start talking, I don't stop. Mostly when I'm hurt or when I'm feeling sad, I don't stop. Like I talk, and then I feel. And then you see, I'm those people who, and I need nataka kazi ya kufanya usiku saa 6 na saa 7 because I sleep at 3. I can't sleep before 3 because most of the times I'm just there talking to God, listening to podcasts, and then I switch them off. I pray for 1 hour, 2 hours. I switch it off, and then I sit with my mind. I've spoken to God. I've told him everything. Now I want him to speak.
Let's talk about forgiveness for a minute before we close.
Before we close.
How many minutes do we have?
We have exceeded some minutes, but you can still go on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's talk about forgiveness for a second. Because I asked you a question behind the scenes and the first day we met, because you shared with me the story of molestation.
Yeah.
And I asked you whether you ever mourned the loss of the innocence. Especially the innocence, like this, you are young girl, these things happening to you. And then the same people who did this to you, you need to forgive them, or you chose to forgive them. Why did you choose to forgive them? First of all, why did you need to forgive them?
Because I felt it was heavy on me. On something that is sitting on my shoulders. It's something that when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I think is about them. I get angry. I needed to stop getting angry. I needed to stop feeling tired because of them. I needed to stop feeling a lot of things about them. I really needed to feel something totally different apart from that. And so I think it started with me forgiving my father, my biological father, because he left. And why did he left? He left because they were beefing with my grandparents, and we were in between, who were suffering, me and my brothers. And so they are telling me, this is how your father is, and he's telling me, this is how your relatives are. And now I didn't know what to do. I remember when I reconnected with my father in April last year, I had to go to him. And I had really tried. I was even, to a point I used to cry at night and tell God, I really need to let go of this man. Because the more I hold this anger, the more I hold this, and I feel like crying, the more I hold this pain of my father not being there, them telling me my dad is bad, yet I don't know how bad my father is. I've never stayed with him. I've never interacted with him. I've never spoken to him for more than 2 minutes. He says, hi, uko aje? I insult him, I hang up. And then he cries. And then my grandmother tells me, my mother's mother tells me, you know, the more there are a lot of bad things happening in your life, I think you need to call your father. I'm like, how do you expect me to call that man? I'm told he's bad. You guys keep on telling me. And by the way, let me discourage this. I'm not saying this to shame my family or anything, but I just want to raise awareness. Stop telling small children that their fathers are bad, their mothers are bad. Are you beefing with your wife? That is you. That is your problem. Please leave your children out of it. Are you beefing with their grandparents? Please, that is your problem. It's not their problems. I started carrying a burden that was not mine from very young. And I hated my father. But when I was reconnecting with him, I think I was emotionally mature. I was ready for it. I was going through, I was seeing my therapist. And even before I went, I told my therapist, I really need to go see my father. My grandmother is telling me this, and I really need to go see this man. Not because of anything. One, because he gave birth to me. Secondly, he has my blessing, because he has my father's blessing. And I really need it. That man was angry with me. The moment I went to him, I bought him a Bible, and I couldn't find any other gift to gift him. I didn't know. Until now, I don't know what he likes. I don't know if I don't know his, sijui size yake ya kiatu, sijui shati inatoshana aje. The only thing I thought of, a friend of mine advised me to do, is buy him a Bible. And I took him the Bible, and that man cried. He literally alikuwa analia kama mtoto mbele ya watu. I had hurt that man, and he had broken my heart into pieces. You see, the first heart break that I experienced was my father's. The second, these guys that were around me, these guys that were touching me, they were doing things to me, and I feel it's disgusting, but then they're like, sasa utaambia nani? Utaambia nani? Nani ataamini ni ukweli? And it's true. Who could have believed me? I could have told my grandfather. But angeanza kesi. Kwenda kesi, of course that guy is mature enough, is old enough, he'll say, you know, this girl is lying, and she just needs attention, and then I'll be left there. And I didn't want that to happen. So me forgiving all those people and my father, for them I had to pray. I had to tell, because there are people who are close to me until today. Until I don't want to go into details of who they are, because my relatives will watch, and then they'll be like, there's a lot of things, but it's because there are people I know, and I had to meet them. I still have to meet them until today, and I can't keep on carrying that burden. I had to forgive my own dad, because he left because they were beefing with my grandparents, and the people who were at the center was me and my brothers, and we have to feel the heat because they are fighting. So all their moods, all their anger came down to who? Because it's like, I don't want to say they used to see us like a burden, but we were there, Karis. We were still there.
Yeah.
So mtu amekasirika, ametoka kwenye ametoka na hasira zake. Unasikia mtoto amenyongwa na nyama anachapwa.
Yeah.
Mwenye anachapwa ni nani? Us. And we couldn't do anything about it. The only place we could have run to is my mother's grave. We couldn't go to anybody else. I didn't know where my father was. The only safest place I knew was my mother's grave. I had to forgive the father of my son. And that one is still hard until today, because of so many things. And forgiveness is not because you want the other person to feel free. You forgive because you want to set yourself free. Until the moment I knew how to be genuinely happy and to enjoy life by myself, I used to think that forgiving you, niwe utakuwa free. No. When I forgive, let me use you as an example. When I forgive you, it's not because of you. I forgive you because of me. Until now, there are people who does things to me. I don't talk to them like 3 days. For those 3 days, I will pray about it. Because it is heavy on my heart. It is heavy on my shoulders. It is heavy in my mind. And I really want to be free. I know what it is to be happy, genuinely happy. And I don't want to go back into that grief and that part of my life. So sometimes I know I don't have to forgive you. I can still forgive you and not be your friend. I can forgive you and not talk to you daily. I can forgive you and just be seeing you walking around and never insult you and be cool. But you think I'm beefing with you, but unajua ulikosea, but mi uko nilishatoka, lakini jue unajua ulinikosea, you still like, nitambia wahu nini. I don't care. I let you go, I forgive you. Right now, hata nani akinifanyia nini. We fight, we get into altercation and everything, and that's it. That is it. Because I know what it is to carry unforgiveness. I know what it is to carry that anger. I used to be angry with everybody. And that's why I used to fight every time. I even used to fight with makangas in Nairobi. There's a guy, anabebanga nafikisha hapa. Tulikuwa na yeye makanga Nairobi. And that guy can tell you, he can stand here and say, I used to fight with them. They were makangas. Because I was always angry. I was always ready to fight, self-defense. Yeah, so that's it. You don't forgive people because of them. You forgive people because of you, for your own good and because of your heart and everything else. Yeah.
But if somebody counters and says, and I'm glad we're having this conversation because there's a need to raise awareness that, especially around, for me, around molestation, that this happens both to girls and young boys, to everybody. So we need to take care of our kids across the board. And then you grow up, you have your voice. You could name names, but you choose, I'm forgiven and I'm not naming names.
Yeah.
And then you're also at peace that you're not protecting the molester. Where do you get that peace that you're not protecting them?
Where do I get that peace? I think it's from God. Because I still see them. I still talk to them. I still interact with them. They even, recently, I was telling you, they even tried to do it again. Recently, just the other day. And then I'm like, nigga, you don't know I am 31 years old. I am literally 31 years old and I'm a mother. And you still want to do what you used to do when I was...
And you have a very big platform now.
Yeah. And you still want to do what you used to... You want to touch me all over. The way you used to touch me when I was 15, when I was 7, when I was 18, when I was 19. You still want to do that? And then they're like... See, I thought, I'm like, dude, don't do that with me. If you don't want me to expose you, because right now I have the right to expose them. And right now, if I say, let me use Wanderi, if I say it's Wanderi who did that, people will believe it is Wanderi because I'm not crazy. I'm not mad. I'm not a child. Right now I can stand in court and say and explain the events, how events happened until we got to that point. I am old enough to take myself to the hospital and get tested and see they see true. There was penetration and everything else, and this is what happened to her. She's not lying. Wanderi can stand on the other side and say, I did not do that. Ama aseme I did that because I was not in the right space. But I choose not to because sometimes if unajua watu wataanza kusema si kila kitu unaachia Mungu, because there are so many children who are getting molested. When it gets to children, that one we take to court. But now you see, mine happened when I was young. I didn't know I can go to court. I didn't know I can talk to someone. I used to fear if I tell somebody they will misjudge me. They will not even defend me because I didn't have anyone to defend me. I used to, ukikosea hadi shule, the way sai mzazi mimi nikienda shule niambie mtoto wangu amekosea, I will have to argue ati amebully ama amechapa mtoto fulani. I'll be like, amemchapa juu alikuwa anambully, and then we'll have to have a conversation and understand, right? I didn't have anybody who would defend me like that. In fact, what they did, nilikuwa napewa suspension, my guka comes ananichapa mbele ya watu. Hiyo story inaisha. He didn't even want to listen to my side of the story, but I was just me being me, you know. Then I didn't know, but right now I can stand and tell. My son knows if anybody touches him where he doesn't want and he's not prepared, he'll come and tell me. And I tell him daily. Hakuna mtu anafaa kuguza kasusu. Hakuna, and he knows he's not, nobody can shower him apart from my 2 brothers. Even my house girl cannot. Hakubalingi, because he knows the only person is supposed to touch me, and they'll touch me because they are maybe changing me, or I'm from the shower, and he cannot shower himself right now. Right now, when he's going to the washroom, he tells you to get out. He'll tell you, I want to poo. He goes, unaacha umemkalisha kwa the nini, and then he tells you get out. Because he knows that is his private time and he needs to be alone. And when he finishes, it's only 4 he flushes the toilet, and that is it. Put it out there to teach our children, to tell them that this is the way to go. To tell them that it doesn't to get to a place where mtu anakuguza. Hata kama ni mwalimu anakuguza and you have to say. If you feel uncomfortable, you have to say. Yeah.
Thank you very much. we're gonna end it there. This has been a long conversation. We are choosing to end it there. This has been one of those episodes where, and I usually, like when I have these conversations, grief, molestations, it's
something
they're trigger points for me. So when going into this conversation, I knew you are the kind of person who can really trigger me and just like get so many of my emotions up and flaring. And I've felt some of them, and I don't know if anyone watching has been through some of the experiences you're sharing. And if it triggered you, apologies. You need to get help possibly. If you've been through stuff like this and you're no longer triggered, kudos, means you've really done some work.
Yes, you've worked on
and
yourself.
for people who haven't been through any of this, this is real. Like this is real life. This stuff that is happening has happened to some of us. And we've had to carry some of that burden and get to a place where
you have to heal.
We have to heal so that we can also tujibambe na life kama wasi wenye wako kupitia hizi vitu.
So
okay, thank you so much for watching. You wanna sign off and please tell your subscribers to subscribe.
Thank you so much, guys. This is one of the realest conversations I've ever had. I've never sat down with somebody and I think I just write. You know, I'm a keyboard warrior. That's what they call me. I'm just typing because, well, I know I'm always typing in Kikuyu, Kiswahili, English, everything in there. But this has been one of the, I don't know, this conversation is so close to my heart. I've never had this conversation. There's more to unpack. Maybe we'll do another episode with Karis, and now we'll focus on other things. But until then, you guys go subscribe to Amvukisha. It's on YouTube channel, inaitwa Amvukisha. Also subscribe to my channel, inaitwa Wahuagoge or Unmuted. The Unmuted, you'll see it. When you type Wahuagoge on YouTube, you'll see the page that has a red background. That is my page. You subscribe. Go subscribe to Karis, page ya Karis. Let's help each other grow. Let us become a community together. My community ni community ya Karis. And by the Karis, we need to even think of coming up with an idea of doing things to people who have gone through all those things. Maybe even orphans. We'll see what to do with Karis, because I feel there is a connection between me and Karis, and we share a lot of things, childhood things, which we'll need to unpack slowly, which will be helping people out there. And if you've been triggered by this episode, please seek therapy. Therapy is, I don't want to say it is expensive, but it is expensive if you don't get therapy. You need to talk to somebody so that you heal. Some of us have healed because we got to a point we talk to somebody. There are professionals out there who will listen to you. And it's not that jueni mwanaume hafai kuongea na mtu. See, Karis here is smiling, he's happy, he's gone through a lot. But because of therapy, that is what therapy helps you do. The therapists help you unpack things, help you heal, gives you assignments to go and do, write yourself your 5-year-old letters and all those things. Those are things I used to do until you get to this point. So thank you so much. I really appreciate. May God bless you, and I hope to see you on the next episode. We are coming back with Karis.
Thank you so much. Really enjoyed this one. Wahu, thank you so much for honoring me.
You're welcome.
I admire your boldness.
You too.
And the power in your voice. Never lose that.
Thank you.
Please don't.
Thank you. I will not. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.